professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. The Chicago we don't talk about. So the Highland Park shooting, right? So it happens over the weekend. Now, in that same weekend, they said, like 50 people got shot in a black neighborhood. And one made the news in Chicago, I think one, but the Highland Park shooting made the national news. And here's the thing. When people kept saying, what about Chicago? Like, let me preface this. So a few years ago, my lady asked me to watch Ozark on Netflix. And I hated that show for one particular reason. There's a scene in that show, first season, because I didn't make it past the first season, where they go to a skyscraper in downtown Chicago, and this guy gets into it because he's sleeping with another guy's wife, but he's in some shady business also. They toss this guy off of, he's like the 43rd or the 47th floor. He lands right onto the sidewalk of street, downtown Chicago. And everybody just walks off like nothing ever happened. And it's like, plow. Middle of the day, daytime, sun's out, And I told my lady, I said, this is why I don't like these type of shows, because if there's no black people around, and if you ever look at television shows, when there's no black people around and there's white people doing stuff, they get away with the dastardliest things, like, wow, they could just walk off? No hey, no stop, no nothing? They got a way of getting away with murder, literally. So when I saw this, I know the guy wasn't going to get away, but it's like, how do they keep doing this? And why do they keep doing this? Because white people get away with crime all the time. They commit crimes all the time, so they just escalate. This is how y'all get all of these public mass shooters, because their crime escalated. How many times? And see, this is the problem with certain things. If Chicago is violent, and it's always been violent, but they say the Mexican cartel has a hub in Chicago, and let's just be honest. Who is the police and the federal FBI more concerned with? The cartel, the mob of all different ethnicities, or R. Kelly in Chicago? R. Kelly. So what you're saying is, hey, if you're not black, if you're black, we're gonna hold you to the fire for anything. If you're not black, we're not. So guess what? These crimes escalate. Well, what about all the shootings? Yeah, it's a lot of shootings. The only problem is when they have these mass shootings with black people, it's kind of weird that you never have a gun. Forget the gun. You don't know what the car looks like. You don't know a license plate. You didn't see a person. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see anybody drive off. You don't have a witness. You don't have shell casings. Like 50 people got shot. So that's like 100 rounds, but you can't find out one shell casing. Every holiday that this happens? Come on now. That's too clean. So other people are like, and for the most part, you don't have retaliation from one gang to the next, because these are supposed to be gang shootings. So it's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Police, cartel, mob, other white folks, get away with it. The biggest criminal stories in Chicago in the last 5 years was Juicy Smouye and R. Kelly. Out of all the things that's been going on. Crazy. But the Chicago you don't want to talk about. Who's but they selling drugs. Who's the plug? The plug is in the suburbs. I'm just saying, the plug is probably somewhere in Aurora or Evanston or Downers Grove. You get what I'm saying? Hinsdale. What is it? It's a country club here, something like that. That's where the plug is at. Like that, Oak Park. That's where, I don't know if Oak Park is still Oak Park, but whatever. But that's where it's at. People have always known that. So when the white kid was in a nice little apartment on the balcony shooting at folks. That was a nice little glass railing, don't you think? So a guy with a tattoo on his face and tattoos on the legs, a little skinny, slim guy who probably never been in a fist fight, but he got all these. He's able to do that. Not a problem. That's the same mentality that had the Kyle Rittenhouse kid. Why you think a kid can go from one state to the next with a gun with their parents and shoot somebody, and people go, "Oh, it's not a big deal." The same mentality. So if you want to know, what's going on with all the crime in Chicago, it's going to be a lot going on. But these are innocent people. Yeah. Yeah, because, what I was about to say earlier, if you used to look at those old shows, police type shows, cops type shows, you would see white guys with long rap sheets. You were seeing guys that were like 5, 7, 10 times felons in the era of 3 strikes. And how they still out? They white. So of course these crimes escalate and continue. Most of your favorite criminal shows are a bunch of white guys who get away with everything. So, is it art imitating life or life imitating art? It's the reality of it also. So I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.